Well, all right. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Let's see how this goes. Um, First, everybody, let's see how this goes. Okay. All right. I like that sound. I like the sound. All right. So let's see who pops in here. Um, I wanted to make this video here because of some things I noticed here in the DR, especially when it comes to me and how I live my life. All right. And so we are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it for the time being. So let me uh, hold up for a moment and see who kind of pops in here. Um, what I will say is that there are a few surprises that I'm running across here in the DR, but I'm not really surprised. And we'll get into that deeply too, um, especially for those that may want to join in on the panel. So, for you scripturites, such as myself, I'm already set up on this one, on this computer. Um, there's some things that I noticed here, and we're going to talk especially in reference to the dating. So, in reference to the dating scene, there's going to be more of a concentration on the dating scene here. So, let me greet everybody real quick. Havorten Hadu Gudag, Ola Oit, Bang, Vasas Los, Bonjames Mi, Kedabawani Kunichiwa, Nihani Ama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Herbarigani. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, kamusta ka, kamusta po kayo, talafa lava soy fua. That reminds me of something, y'all. Hold on for a second. All right. I know I sound distant, and that's because I am. I forgot to send a message out out to a brother. But there are a few things that I've noticed here, and if I got the right one, yes I do. Okay, almost forgot about the T's. All right. So as I get into this, I forgot about two other brothers too. Hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. All right, got it. So as uh, as we get into this, all right. As we get into this, there's a couple of things I want to break down that I think that we should be very, very much aware of. But most of us are not, especially when we're traveling abroad. All right. So, um, let me see who pops on. I know I'm kind of doing this early in the afternoon. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm mixing up the times that I do my lives because we all know that I'm being seriously shadow banned by Google and YouTube. All right. Only recently. So recently, if you pull up my name, Reluctant Nabi on Google, you can find my channel. All right. For the time being. Now that changes from time to time, and that's a problem. All right. It's a problem, but it just is what it is. There's a lot of information that I put out. Hey, what's up, young boy 24? There's a lot of information that I put out to brothers that powers that be don't want y'all to know, have, and stuff. And but here's another crazy thing. I want y'all to think about this. Um, the other crazy thing about the information is this. For some reason, the powers that be that are blocking my channel here, who are shadow banning me, are okay with other people putting out my information. But then again, I started to figure something out, and this is something we got to be aware of. A lot of us are being compromised. The message gets compromised because the people that they are allowing to put out information are people that they can compromise. Bottom line is a bunch of people that are famous simply for being famous. All right. Their fame is they did something usually ridiculous. And remember, when you're dealing with the American society, when you're dealing with American society, there's no such thing as bad publicity. That's the pervading wisdom here. There's no such thing as bad publicity. And so people are in the US are doing anything they can for likes and views. And so if you notice, a lot of the thinkers have been kind of pushed off of YouTube in the place of the ignorant. All right. The only other people that haven't been pushed off are those that hold on, let me close. Are those that have a force behind them. Like Candace Owens is relevant because she has Republicans behind her. And I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about the machine. So let's get into, hey, what's up, JJ Diesel? Good morning. So, what I have decided to do is break up my lives. And I'm deciding to primarily do lives. And here's the reason for this. The video I put up about the dude in Africa, all right, that I put up about JJ Kidd and all the stuff that would be a danger to a community when it's not known. That video is currently being shadow banned. Y'all know the one. The dude goes to Africa, lays up with all them women, give them the package, and then in the media says he did it on purpose, and YouTube and Google is going to try to ban videos about that dude, shadow ban videos about the dude, shadow ban reporting on that. Hey, what's up, Mr. Pirate Brain? And so now you have a problem, right? Understand that this is a spiritual warfare we're going through. All right. And everyone is against us, even all the way down to the religion. If you're trying to be a good Afro man, if you are trying to be a good Afro man, you got everyone against us, even down to religions. All right. The purpose of the religions was to make docile men. All right. Period. Especially Christianity, which is the worst of all of them. Now, understand this. If you notice, the Chinese really don't have a religion. Buddhism isn't a religion like we would consider a religion. It is a school of thought based on a principle, spiritual principle of a real guy that lived in the past. Confucianism and Taoism is the same thing. So when you look at all the things that are going on around the world and how the United States is losing favor everywhere, and how the Chinese is gaining everything, there's a couple of reasons behind it. And a lot of this has to do with my experiences here and some of the things that I am starting to recognize. There is a common thread that's going on, whereas the the people that don't give a F, like me, just don't give a F. All right. And one of the things I discovered is when you despise or don't like or think that it is strange that a man decides to be a good man, then that makes you a bad woman. All right. Period. When you decide that, and all that goes somewhere with this. When people develop a mentality, they start winning, and they win the long game. All right. Like the Chinese, they don't have a religion, they have schools of thought. And their leaders grew up in all these schools of thought enough to be aware of them. That's how we have to be about politics, religion. We have to know them well enough to be aware of them, their pitfalls, and what other people think of us. All right. Now, with that said, understanding history, all right, understanding deep, dark history, the history of the enslaved colonies and things like that. Here in Santo Domingo, I did not realize how truly Afro the Dominican Republic is. I did not realize how truly Afro the Dominican Republic is. All right. So two things going on. There's not going to be a who, but I'm gonna talk about an experience. So I was introduced to someone. They thought I looked pretty good, and I thought she looked pretty good. Kinda. All right. Couple of things threw me off like right off the bat. And well, one thing threw me off, tattoos. And so one of the things that I start thinking, right? That as we're getting into the conversation, tattoos threw me off, and children. Now, when they have children, I want to know where the daddy is. All right, I want to know where the daddy is because I can't. There's only three conditions under which we as men should talk to a woman that has children. That is if that child is a bastard, meaning the father just disappeared, right? So it's just that mom and that child, the father disappeared. Um, she's a widow, all right? Bastard, widow. Oh, that's it. The child's a bastard or widow. Because if she's divorced, she shouldn't have the children. The children should have went to the father. And in all of these countries, there are laws. I checked here in the DR as well. In their laws, all right, they have a child support system, but how if a dude is not from this country, all right, and they're say from any other country except for the US, the women effectively cannot go after those men. All right, it's kind of worthless. The only people that are allowed to have their that are being allowed to be siphoned is Americans. The United States have a treaty with a bunch of countries, all right, for child support against their own citizens. All right. So understand this. The United States government has gone to other countries in order to make deals with them. Why? Because in the United States, I want y'all to understand this, and this is as you travel and understand these laws and look at things in the United States, and specifically the United States. All right. I want you to understand that we men are considered to be nothing but slaves to the United States government. All right. And this child support thing is it's the most evil, wicked thing ever devised by anyone. It is an evil thing designed to keep men in bondage to the state in the United States. All right. Your only out is having a way to have automatic payments taken out of whatever money you get so that you have the freedom to go. All right. If a woman puts you in that system, that's all she worth is the automatic payments. Any bonus that is done, that is up to you as the man. But she's not worth more than the automatic payments. All right. And so the little d energy and all of this stuff, it trashes the greeting from Arkansas, y'all. It trashes the females when they say that anytime a female tries to cap on you by insulting size, that means they are no damn good for nobody. All right. Oh yeah. Thank you, David. Glad I went down this. Yeah, my Cash App and PayPal me is in the description box if you would like to help this channel by donating to it. And so we'll get into what's been going on here. All right. But anyway, so anytime a woman says that what matters is how a man can please her in the bedroom, she's ruined. She's no good for any man. She's for the streets. She's for the streets. All right. And so basically that's it. Now, here's the thing. So as I'm looking in the DR, oh, and my email address is also there. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, y'all, while you all are here. Okay, so here's the other thing. Now, here's some of the things that I've noticed here in the DR. All right, here's some of the things that I've noticed in the DR. So I was set up with a woman, and then another one. Um, we had a video chat this morning, and so I will see her at 3. Okay, I will see her at 3, or at 3 we'll get together. And so basically, me for the ones I'm initially, so the other one, hold on, let me break this down. One was chosen for me. All right, that's the one with the tattoos. And the other one I reached out to. All right, so we're talking. Now, right. And so you got to be careful of that. And so basically, I let them know that my second language is Portuguese because I stay in Brazil. And y'all know I stay in Brazil. I spend more time in Brazil than I do in the United States or any other country. All right, so I basically live there. So they asked me where I live. I live in Brazil. Well, I'm from the US, but I live in Brazil. All right, so with that said, so this is what's up with what's been going on. All right, so the women here look good, right? But the question has always been, it looks good, but is it good for you? And certain women just shouldn't be good for you. The woman I met day before yesterday, she's probably good for somebody, but it's not for me. All right. And I didn't like the way things went down. So I didn't want nothing else to do with the woman anymore. And this is basically how it goes. All right. So the Dominican peso is 55 point something, whatever. All right. So I use 50, 50 equals a dollar. So basically, if something costs 300 DOP, then that's $6. Y'all understand? So that's how I break it down. If something costs 300 DOP, it is $6. And so just to meet this woman that I didn't choose, somebody chose for me. All right, asked me if I would pay for a ride here. I said, sure, why not? It couldn't be far, right? So here's the thing. Here's some of the things that really made me salty on everything, right? Um, and this is like I don't want nothing to do with you, nothing. And I'm good with being alone. Understand this? I'm good with being alone. Now, if I meet a woman of my choosing, I'm good with that too. So here's the breakdown. So the woman said it was going to be 600 Dominican pesos for this woman to. Now I want y'all to pay close attention to this. All right, I want y'all to pay close attention to this. Y'all got it. Pay close attention to this. And this is why I won't have anything to do with her. And y'all figure out. Y'all tell me why I wouldn't have anything to do with her. All right. So what's up, King Groove? Hold on. What's up, Mr. Pirate? Right? David got you. Oh, Lord Vita is here. God's child, what's going down? Hello. Let's see who else popped in here. Got you, Mr. Pirate Brain. Got y'all boy 24. Okay. So basically, all right, let's break this down. So, again, this was somebody that was chosen in kind of a blind meeting. The ride comes here. All right, they say taxi, but the ride comes here. I give somebody 600 pesos. All right. So if I give them 600 pesos, that's $12. All right. Pay attention to this because I'm teaching y'all something right here. Two things happen. So they're getting ready to leave. The lady that introduced me and the lady that I met, right? So they're getting ready to leave, right? And so I said, I'll call an Uber. All right. So the lady that I met, she decides that she's going to just use ID driver. All right. Now, this takes the rest of my change. All right. She went, I'll tell you what happened while she was here, but this takes the rest of my change. But this was it. The reason why I wanted to use Uber because I wanted to tip the driver. All right. But she instead insisted on using ID driver, said it was going to be 350, right? So that's another $7. All right. So just to say hi, I'm already out $20. Now, it's wasted money is because it was wasted money. Understand? It was wasted money. It didn't need to be $20. Y'all get what I'm saying? It didn't need to be $20. So here's a couple of things that went wrong. All right, when we was up, so they came up into my apartment. All right, so she was here. We met, small talk. Had to use a translator because Dominican Spanish is way different from Colombian Spanish, right? A lot of the words don't mean the same. So it frustrated her that me, a person that just got here and she knows I just got here. She knows this is my first visit. She knows that I only been here like at the time 3 days, right? She knows all of this. And she's frustrated that I don't know Spanish fluently. And understand, brothers, this is not my problem. Because as far as I'm concerned, I'm the one with the resources. I'm the one that brings what a man is supposed to bring if it gets that far. All right. When I'm meeting you, I'm checking you to see if you're worth my time, right? If you're worth my money, if you're worth my effort. All right. And so, one of the things, the first thing that disappointed her was I didn't drink. I really don't drink. I said, no problem. She wanted a beer. She asked if I had a beer in the refrigerator. And no, I didn't have a beer in the refrigerator. Hold on, let me show you again the apartment, right? So refrigerator's huge. I didn't have beer in the refrigerator because I don't drink beer. I said I don't drink, so I'm not so sorry, I don't have beer. However, we could go to the market and get you some beer. All right. And so went to the market, got some beers, got some other stuff, right? It disappointed her that I did not drink. All right. I was done then. The Uber ID driver thing was the last problem that I was done with. Now, can anybody tell me what was the problem with the Uber and ID driver? Now that I mentioned the story, can you see where the problem was, and then I'll continue on. No, give them hell. I don't think they do that here like that. And besides, we are in my apartment, and the person that introduced us work here, so they kind of look and have my back. All right, I made some genuine friends, especially with the lady at front, because they go above and beyond. The one, especially the one that works evening, go above and beyond for me. So when I cook my food and stuff like that, I share it with them. They like my cook. They really like my cooking. All right. She wanted to keep the change. No, because she's hold on, let me see if I get one more thing. So yeah, I'm in the Dominican Republic, right? And so I'm in Santo Domingo. So they don't play that kind of game. This isn't like Medellin, Colombia. All right. All right. So understand this. When they came here, they told me that the ride was that I was paying it, the taxi guys 600 pesos. Um, I went to call Uber on my phone, gave her the thing to put her address in she's going to go to, and she gave me back my phone, then picked up her phone, used ID driver. Okay, so there's that. And when they used the ID driver, it was 350. Now, keep in mind that in ID driver, you determine what you want to pay, and they'll agree with it. All right. So there's a whole lot about this I didn't like with her. Now, our mutual friend probably wasn't aware that things are going this badly. All right. And so she's asking me, what do I think about her? What do I think about her? She's really trying to put us together, right? Because she obviously thinks I'm a good person, but this was not a good woman for me. She's a good woman. She'll be a good woman probably for a drinker, the party guys. She'll be a good woman for the party guys that are very fluent in Spanish, right? Dominican Spanish. But for me, she was not. She was not that. So here's the thing. And yeah, and so basically, she wants somebody that's going to drink with her. Now, she liked the way I looked, and she literally thought I had some beers in the refrigerator, and was literally physically disappointed when I said, no, I don't drink. And she was like, you don't drink at all? No, I don't drink at all. Then you got the proverbial thought rolling around in her head. Well, how do you have fun if you don't get drunk? You see? And no, I'm not about that. I'm not about that life, right? And so one of the things is that here, and this is really the effed up part about it. Here, a lot of the dudes that have come before me have really effed things up as far as what people think about the American brother coming here. All right. Because when I say I don't do something, I mean it. When I say I do something, I mean it. And it took the hotel staff a bit to understand that I meant what I said. So the soccer balls I brought to give out, right? People thought my real intentions were to sell them. All right, but there's another woman that I made friends with, right? And she wanted one for her child, and I gave it to her, right? And then that's how the word got out that no, he's not trying to sell these things, right? And exactly, young boy 24, exactly. That's why I politely said hello back, right? But I wasn't interested. Hey, what's up, Phoenix Rising? So I wasn't interested, right? And they don't understand. I don't care if you're not interested in me because I am the prize. See, understand this, brothers. I don't give a damn whether the woman thinks that, I don't give a damn about how she feels about her being interested in me. I don't care if she's interested in me or not. If she is, then I'm gonna take it for that. Like when I find a woman that's really interested in me, then I'm going whole hog. All right. I'm going hard in the paint. All right. When there's a connection, when we there, all right, then it's relationship time. But when we're just meeting and hey, what's up, one loyal king? When we're just meeting and you're like that, no, I don't give a damn. Um, basically, the only thing that I could do with a woman that's really not for me, not interested in me, is lose money. And I ain't, what's up, King Groove? And I'm like, no, right? And so I think it surprised her when I didn't call her back or shout her out the next morning. All right. And so I got up late. I at least would have went and said buenos dias and stuff like that, because that's the kind of polite thing to say, right? Um, but anyway, and so one of the so a couple of things I discovered, right, that a lot of dudes really f things up, right, like viruses, and then they leave to go infect another place. All right, but then some places they can't infect, and a couple a simplified USMC vet. Um, so some of the places they can't infect would be like Southeast Asia and the Asian countries, because they've been used to the BS and this, that, and the other, and a lot of them are starting to become surprised at how much English they really do speak. All right. And these are women with wisdom. All right. They got a good sense of wisdom there. All right. And so you have that. Now, when we talk about these, when I say that the Dominican Republic is primarily an Afro country, I'm saying it's like Afro. But you will find that the lighter people will get to rule in government. All right. But it is really Afro. The woman that I'm meeting with at 3, she is dark as me. That's one of the things that attracted me to her. Right. I was like, wow, she's really that it was kind of that thing. I was like, wow, she's really beautiful. But she's beautiful in a regular way, not made up. Um, she looks like regular round the way girl that I used to grow up with in the hood. All right. She ain't got no hood, she ain't got the hood vibes, right? And so basically that's where that is. So with that said, so the problem that I had is I didn't have a problem paying for the taxi or the driver, right? I thought 600 pesos was really a lot because it didn't cost me that much to go from the airport to here. All right. Now, airport has airport fees, but the regular trip was like 700 pesos. Then you add the airport fees and something else, a toll fee for the airport. But 600 pesos, right? And I was like, really? That is almost as much as it cost me to go from the airport here, right? And then when it was 350 pesos to use InDriver, I'm not sure if it was 350 because I'm not the one that chose the InDriver. So she went into her phone. When she did that, that F things up permanently. I didn't want nothing else to do with her. What's up, Afro Troop TV? One, all right, you're going to be like boss chick and just take over and you're going to defy what I want to do, right? I just wanted to get you home safe in the way that I knew, in the way that I wanted, because I wanted to bless the Uber driver as well and stuff. You took that from me. I said, okay, that'll be the first and last time you do that because I don't want to see you again. Right. So if she If she sends me something on WhatsApp and say, "Buenos dias," whatever, I'll be polite and reply back, but that's it. All right. With this other lady, understand, um, yeah, it felt miserably, right? And this is a lot of things these women don't understand. And this is why I have this up here. Uh, when I say this, all right, she was a beautiful woman, but she was a beautiful woman with an attitude that thought that, oh yeah, yeah, um, he need to do this to this, that, and the other. One, all right, I cook for people that are working because I'm good at it and I know they like my food. And so I'll make things and stuff like that, chop it up a little bit. All right. And fun because they teach me stuff. They help me out in other ways. They clean my place. If I need extra stuff, they'll give it to me and stuff. So they look out for me. So I look out for them. All right. But I'm not your slave ever. And when I right, no, these aren't them in the picture. All right, so these are so here's the other thing. All right, they're putting their best foot forward. Look at, these are women that's looking for men to date. All right, and so here's the thing. One of the things that I'm testing is see how helpful these women are. Because if I meet somebody here, it's going to be somebody that I was like, oh wow, this woman will help me get involved with the community here. This, that, and the other. This woman cares about the future. Because at the end of the day, my belief is that I have a purpose when I go places, and that is, if we should bring and we have a child, right? I want that child to have a decent future. I want that child to be in a place where other children know, oh yeah, that child's daddy, he look out for us, so we're going to look out for that child as a whole. You understand? Um, because when you get involved with the community, the impact of that involvement is that the community may pay it back to your offspring. Because who wants to do ill to the person that loves and trying to treat everybody right? Who wants to do that? All right. So that's the thing. Now, the other thing is that um, you look for somebody with um, a deal of patience, right? Who has patience, and that's the other thing. Now, with that said, when you come across the brothers again, the brothers are the saving grace of this place. All right, because the brothers, they on their hustle too, but they'll try. Their hustle is to make things beneficial for the both. You know, okay, yeah. And so basically, and at this time, if y'all would like to join the thing. But the thing is, and there's another thing, right? Here's another thing. There's a history, all this history right here matters. One of the things that I started to discover about this place, all right, that this mentality right here, we're taking your check, your money, and your career. They won't take your career because, you know, you're here, right? But this thing, I'm going to take you. I'm going to see what I can get out of you. All right. And they don't see this as a fail because you got a lot of dudes coming down here simping, like the dude begging his Patreon people or the people to get him back to the airport, to get him back to the United States. And I'm like, dude, you didn't buy your trip, buy a round trip ticket. You came here with a one-way ticket and was going back with another one-way ticket. You didn't buy a round trip ticket. All right. And so this is the thing, right? And so we got to separate from them. But these women, the effect that they have is everywhere, because a lot of the simps from the United States traveling here, especially from the northeast coast, if you know what I mean, have brought that wickedness, that hustle mentality, that I'm gonna throw needless money up in the air and make it rain. They brought that make it rain culture down here and ruined a lot of these women. All right. And so while the place looked good, and while many of the women look good, you can see, especially in the ones that are trying to be Afro. All right. And it's like I don't know why it is with the female that they will accept even to crown a out of work Caucasian man king. All right, I want y'all to understand this. These are the women in Africa that had a dream, that got people to bow to these women to crown a Caucasian man who's out of work a king in one of the Ashanti tribes. And if I didn't do this stories, y'all would not have believed me. This dude was on welfare, living in the projects, goes to Ghana. And this is one of the things that left a sour taste in my mouth about women of Ghana. And this is why I don't want to be any place where the thinking of women are causing men to take action to support the feelings of the women. All right. And here's the thing. If you read this paper, all right, they've been trying to eliminate us. And this paper was 1919, New York Times, right? In this paper, they've been trying to eliminate us for a while. All right. And the B-Dub have been trying to eliminate us for a while. Right? Maybe retarded by legislation, but cannot be avoided. Union of Mayonnaise Fathers and BAW will bring about this is what amalgamation is about. It'll bring about this elimination. Understand this, the 4 words in the title, the last 4 words, danger in reverse condition. Why is it that everybody understands that, but the so-called black man in the United States? Everyone understands that it is dangerous in reverse position. And this is why I keep promoting to the brothers that when I promote to us, right, I keep promoting to the brothers that it is us that they worry about, right? The reason why they are really having an issue with us passport bros, the reason why there's a real issue with the passport bros is danger in the other position. Danger if it's done the other way. Hey, what's up, Roger Spice? All right. I want y'all to understand that danger. I was having this discussion with one of the brothers here, and hopefully he understands now. We were talking, and I got down to the lab part about all of that. Right? But at the end of the day, if you look at the paper, when they're talking about eliminating, all right, they've been trying to eliminate us since they came over to this land. Let's get this straight. They've been trying to eliminate us since they came over to this land. Which one? A Roger Spice. Which one? Hey, what's up, Mr. Pirate Brain?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right.
Good, good. Hey, I wanted to ask you that question. What is the danger that they perceive?
So this is so me and what's his name? He's up in here. Me and Give Him Hell. We were having this discussion, right? Now, basically, I kind of understood what he was saying, but I was trying to break it down so he would understand what I was saying. Okay. Hey, say something else. I want to just make sure my speaker's right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. You're all right. Say now.
Hey, say now.
Okay, I just wanted to turn it down a little bit. All right.
Oh, okay.
So this is what we were talking about. Okay, we was having this discussion, and I understand the camp ideology and stuff like that. All right, and so when they said it was dangerous in the other way, the Caucasian seed takes away and bleaches out everything. The Afro man gives XY that has the material for everything, right? And so the Afro man's the most yeah. We was having this discussion, and this is what made me my idea the paper. Let me go back to it. Okay, and so basically, I'm gonna go back to the paper real quick. Okay, if you read this whole article, it's from the New York Times, right? Professor Bra's prediction race amalgamation, right? The union of Caucasian fathers and BAWs will bring this about. What are they going to bring about? It means the Negro elimination. This is the New York Times, right? 1919 or 1920. All right. It says danger in reverse condition because the Caucasian man, even though he will promote the BW, even though they will do all their scientific thing, and you notice they always put emphasis on Lucy and we found this black woman and stuff like that. Notice how they go to Africa and don't find black men. You know that we found a black woman, all right, and they're not black. All right, that there's a culture there, right? And so say Kenyan men, and don't name Afro people. You find some white name, right?
Right.
There was a real name for the community. All right. And so when you look at this, okay, um, and I have a copy of this. And so if you go to my email address in the description box, you don't have to donate nothing or anything. Now, if you want to donate to what my channel does in the community, help get some more balls or whatever I pass out in communities, now you could do that on your own. But to get this information, you don't have to donate nothing. You don't even have to subscribe. I would hope that you would, right? But if you want a copy of this, it's microfiche. All right, so it's back before they could put things up on Google. It's microfiche. So it exists as a microfiche. So I am giving you a picture of the original thing, and you can read this whole thing. Okay.
Is that
You
picture
can read.
from the ninth? From the ninth? How old is this picture?
Well, you can find it online. I don't know if you can find it online because Google keep trying to hide stuff like this, right? The truth
The
of
reason why I asked you is they tried to uh, coronate another white guy as chief, and I don't know if it was Ghana or Nigeria. It was somewhere, and they were carrying him up on a pedestal.
Yeah, that's him. That's the same guy.
Oh, okay.
That's the same guy. Okay.
Hmm.
And so basically, so this has always been the idea of the European governments. Uh, this has often been the ideas of the European governments. And when they say amalgamate, they wanted us eliminated. And that's why they wanted it Afro woman to Caucasian man. And so we were having this discussion, which I understand, and he made a valid point. Give him hell made a valid point that seems scary, but me seeing how the Most High work. Hey, give him hell. If you up in here, pop in if you want. So he made a valid point. His question was, what if? His question was, so what if the Afro man gets with the Afro man? Remember, everything is about the seed and the seed maker. All right. So the Afro man can get with whomever he wants. It is the BW that decides to eliminate the race by not allowing the Afro man to procreate with her. So what are you supposed to do? Force her? Think about it. It's the BW that's choosing not to procreate. The Afro man was more loyal to the BW, and the BW has always sold us out. The ABW always sold us out. The Afro man in America had always been more loyal to her than she was to us. When you look at Lena Horne and all them people in the 20s, 30s, 40s, all the way up to Loving versus Virginia in the 1950s, it's the BW that was creating all those mulattoes. When you look at slavery and everyone after that, it was the BW that created those mulattoes. Okay, when you look at New Orleans and South Carolina, those remember 70%, 68 to 70% of BW were the black slave owners, not the Afro men. It was them and their mulatto offspring, which under the one drop rule were considered black, right? So when you look at this, what do you do? All right. What is the Afro man supposed to do when the when the ABW refuses to carry his seed, right? And instead carry the seed of his oppressor, right? No, he preserves his seed. The way I look at it, and this just came to me, give him hell. When the The Afro man go put his seed into everyone because the BW is not available. It's like putting the seed in the freezer. All right. Now, what happens is because it's an Afro seed, it's going to be dominant. And if there's a BW that ever gets right and start to act right and become wife material, right? That dude, that is the product of the first Afro man. So long as the males, hold on, let me see this. All right,
Do you
the
know
males,
that it, excuse me, I'm
the
sorry.
males, okay, the males will always carry that seed. The males will always carry that seed until that male cannot produce males, right? So what happens is when a B dub carried the seed of a Caucasian man, the Afro line is done. That first baby, the Afro line is done. That first baby, that baby, whether it's a male or female, and especially if it's a male, is done because that man, that baby, as he grows up, it'll be a man, will only carry the Y chromosome of his daddy, and so on. He will pass that line down on and on and on. And the same is for the Afro man. When an Afro man gets with a Caucasian, this is why Caucasian people disown their women, or other people, other races disown their women because they know that the Afro gene is dominant. And when the Afro man puts that seed in there and have sons, whatever line that woman come from, it's done immediately. Now, and since he's more dominant, what happens is color can come back from that man if the colored woman get right. All right. But even if she don't get right, that seed is preserved in those other women until the Most High see fit to make more B dubs. But go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is in South Africa, that's the problem they have because right now in South Africa, the most of the police force there, a lot of them are females now, and most of them are mixed race females, and they are mistreating the men, even killing them.
Yes, 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 yes. I've
And,
been
and
following.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing they're dealing with. So what they're doing is they're going down these countries, having children with them, and basically eliminating and oppressing the men because the
Exactly.
laws are in the favor of the
Of the female.
BWs. Right, right. So let's say, for example, she kill you, she might get a slap on the wrist. If you kill her, you in jail for your life. You taken off the playing board, right?
Uh, and And that's the slick thing that they did. That is the slick thing that they did. This is why when I look at this is why it's a problem. It's always a problem when you bring your oppressor into your community, or it is always a problem for the people who brings the oppressor into the community. All right. The Afro man has never been the oppressor of the community, right? I may not agree about how he deals with the oppression. Some of these dudes, all right, but he didn't. He's not brought them into the community, and this is a problem I have with a lot of the brothers. A lot of these dudes, they ain't brothers either. That travel and stuff like that, and they act foolish. All right, I have a problem with that, and the reason why I have a problem with that um, is that why would you go down and bring the Caucasian way of doing things and oppress another community even after we have been under such oppression? Why don't you come and be a light or a beacon, right? They and like the dude that went to Columbia, bought the building. was going to turn it into a restaurant, but then he decided he's going to double the rent. I was like, why do you do that? Why not hire the people that's in the building you just bought to help run your restaurant? That'd be an idea. But no, you kick them out into the street and say, if you want to come back, you're going to have to pay double the rent because you're a slumlord. Like you got that mentality from the United States. And this is my problem for all the people just trying to tell people how to get rich. Hey, what's up, Hulk?
Hey, what's going on, all my Nabiites and my Hulkamaniacs? We're gonna go to WrestleMania. We're going to the Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah, but so this is the thing. And so while I saw Give Him Hell's point, he had a great point. But I thought about this. If it gets that bad, we're already lost. And the XY chromosome from the Afro man will just be preserved. And this was the conclusion I came to. We're already lost is because you can't make the woman want to have your child. See, and this is the point that a lot of people miss when they get on men. Oh, you need to this, you need to that. And do what? Not plant seeds. Remember, we're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. So you're telling a man to be celibate, right? In other words, they win because the man stops planting seeds. Okay.
Well, basically, Bill Gates told everybody in a speech that they in Africa that they want to eliminate a certain amount of people, and you know they're going to be the men, the
exactly,
black men.
They're the seed planters, right?
Right.
It's because what it is you cannot get rid of us so long as the men exist, right? But you can get rid of us if you could tell the women and get them on your side and say, do not have children from the Afro man. But the Passport brothers threw a monkey wrench in it when we decided we're going to go get wives from other women, right? And those wives in certain places have enough Afro in them because some of them are seeds of Afro men that you will be able to maintain that strong melanin thing like the women of the Philippines, right?
And that's why that's why the United States has such a huge problem with Duarte, because Duarte wasn't playing. I mean, he's like, if you selling drugs, I'm just going to eliminate you. And Duarte was basically black.
Yeah, right. And so basically, when you look at everything that's going on, it looks like it is the active plan. It's the plan of action by a group of individuals to eliminate one group of people, and that's us Afro men. And they're doing it with the help of the so-called BWs all over the world. However, the reason why everybody got their panties in a bunch and the reason why the Passport brothers is a trending thing, because the Afro man said, no, we want wives, and if the B-dub don't want to bear our children, okay, so be it. We'll go and find other women. The last thing we need to do is be celibate, though, because the Most High said, be fruitful and multiply. He said that for real, for a reason. All right.
That's it.
Because it is about, people are trying to eliminate us. They're not trying to eliminate the B-dub, because if they eliminate us, right, they figured that, let's say they went after the B-dub, then we would fight, right? Some of us would die, right? But say they started to dwindle, right? Then we would disperse because there's no women, right? And so what happened is you got two parts of this psyops. The one part is you got a bunch of people telling the Afro man that he is the only man in the world that need to only be with that woman that, by the way, don't want him. All right, that you can only be with the black woman. But the black woman, she could sleep and take in the seed of every man she want, right? But no, you Afro man, your seed, no, we don't need you to spread your seed around the world. Only the Caucasian men can spread their seed around the world. Um, and when I say Caucasian, I'm talking about the Latinos with Caucasian roots in Spain, that their fathers are from Spain, not Africa. All right. So they're Caucasian. All right. So you got them. The Chinese are allowed to spread their seed everywhere. Anybody with mayonnaise skin is allowed to spread their seed, but you're going to tell a bunch of dudes to tell other dudes, we're going to police your D. All right, no, you're a fool. You are a fool. And people got to understand this is a no depolicing zone, right? And I mean that when I say it's a no depolicing zone. All right. I don't know why we accept these dudes trying to police people's D and wallet. All right. They out their mind. All
To
right.
me, this goes back to slavery. You know, back on the plantation. I mean, what everybody wants to talk about, you know, buck breaking and all the stuff that's commonly known, but something else that's been documented on pretty much every plantation in the South and the Mid South. What were they doing? The masters would get what? The biggest, blackest,
Mm-hmm.
nail Carter looking woman, Mammy, and put them over all the big field hands and the house Negroes. She would boss them around. She could hit them with a stick just to keep
Oh
them
yeah.
from being in their natural energy of being a man, you know, like the Most High set you up to be. So we have to
Right.
bow before them. We got to bow before them with child support. We got to bow before them with alimony. They can slap you, you can't slap them back. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Right.
They
And that's
portrayed that well in Gone with the Wind with Hattie. What's her name?
McDaniel,
They
Hannah
portrayed that.
McDaniel.
Yeah, you see how she was loud mouth and she could talk to the other uh, black slaves anywhere, any old kind of way.
Right, right. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I want y'all to be aware of, right? Um, that as we address this, okay, as we address this, we got to address the other elephant that's in the room. All right. That beating. This is why we get beatings. And who beats us?
Yeah, the BAW beat us.
Hey, bro,
But
I'm gonna give you
I had a father in my house growing up, so
okay, yeah. Hey, join in. Oh, we're talking about some of the things that I'm picking up in the DR and how things kind of getting the same behind what's been brought here. But I'll holler at you, man. All right, peace.
Hey, now, B. Hey,
Uh-huh.
brother,
And
now,
so,
B.
uh-huh.
I put in the chat a 50-second quick clip on a brother not having it. You would definitely laugh at this. Definitely good edification for the brothers. No cussing or none of that in there. Just
Where
a brother trying to date a monster, and it didn't work out for her. That's all I got to say.
is it? Oh, you put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the private chat.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't see y'all know how to work this thing better than me some of the time. But anyway, and so when we talk about these beatings, okay, um, like the extension cord and stuff, and everybody, yeah, we got our behind beat. Um, Caucasian people got spankings, we got beat. Understand that?
yeah,
Oh, daddy's going to spank you. We was like, oh, mama going to whoop your behind. You know what I mean? Whip,
yeah.
whip, whoop, beat you. He got a beating. Understand the terminology that we Um, what happened? Man, I didn't, and I got a beating. Be like, looking back on when I was a little nappy headed boy.
Boom, 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 boom.
And then my only worry was for Christmas, what would be my joy,
Dun,
right?
dun, dun, dun,
I
dun,
wish,
dun,
and hold
dun.
it, and then he been, I wish those days would come back. With, all right, well, hold on. Well, think about this.
Do you take
Think
requests,
about
brother? You saw about to
hold
break
it.
out a ribbon
Think
in the
about,
sky over
listen to
there.
this part. He wished these days would come back some more, right? So, um, sneaking out the back door to hang out with those nasty friends of mine. But that did not stop my mama from whooping my behind. Or did he say beating my behind?
Whooping.
Okay. And
From whipping your behind.
from whipping your behind. All right. So when you look at that, all right, whipping, we got whipped.
I was in the 10th grade when that album dropped. It was one of the best albums ever. I mean, in fact, up to that point, it was it.
Uh-huh. Right. And so basically it's been, if you really looked at who has been trained to dominate us, and the problem is that we still grow into men. All right. And so then you got that psychological whipping that we took. Oh, always protect your mom. You die for your mom. And no matter what happened, you always elevate your mom. F your dad. F your dad. He ain't nothing but he ain't nothing but what are we? We ain't Negroes ain't SH. All right. That's what we are, right? We ain't SH, but the mob.
All they
Oh,
need
she
is
a
our
pure.
seed.
And so they didn't need that. That's all they wanted because the country still needs servants. All right. But now that they thought that they could replace us, oh, they're having a hell of a problem in California. All right. That they're having
Yeah.
a real problem in California. And the problem in California is one, they eliminated the Afro gangs. All right. The Mexican mafia came in, eliminated the Afro gangs because they weren't the real gangsters. Like they couldn't do what they did to them, like to dudes like Bumpy Johnson and them, right?
Right.
But but you got a bunch of dudes running around weaponized. Okay, there it is. Running around weaponized, and those dudes don't know how to think like warriors. Remember, the gangs in Mexico come from people who are trained by men to fight like men, and they went up to California to have it out with men that had weapons, but not trained to fight like men who had the mentality of females, and they got overrun with the quickness.
Some of the brothers was talking about that. It's funny you say that. About a week ago, some of the old heads from California that used to run, some of the bigger sets, the black sets out there, and they were saying that people move away, try to have better economic opportunities. You got a business in maybe Alabama or Georgia or Florida, wherever. Maybe they go to jail, maybe they had cancer, and they come back to their neighborhood and they say they see black female shot callers. They say never in the history of California gang culture had they ever seen that. It was more structured like a paramilitary outfit, like a black family, like a mafia family. There was rules, there was orders, there was a structure like sergeants, lieutenants, captains. This stuff now is out of control. But now that you have black women running their own little factions, look what's going on.
Oh, they're getting eliminated by the
By the
um,
vatos, exactly, because they would rather
yeah,
care about nails and looking cute.
But here's the thing, they out of place. That no matter where you put it, females can't protect nothing. They selfish as all get out, and they're going to be overrun and used by the people that's overrunning them. All right, and you're weak if I come in with a group of dudes and I see that my competition is some hard females. Oh, they already lost. They
Yeah.
lost for this reason. They lost for this reason, primarily lost for this reason. One, okay, I don't have to treat you like a woman. So your womanly wiles are gone. It's because you're in a position of a man. So I'm gonna deal with you like a man. All right. And the best way I can put this is um is the woman king. When we went into the Dahomey tribe, all right, what happened was that the one of the people that the Dahomey were fighting, one of the nations that the Dahomey were fighting, they were kind of like, thinking that they were men, that we're going to fight with honor and stuff like that. But as they were eliminating them, they went to take trophies, and they found out, holy hell, we're fighting women. And then what they really decided to do, they said, oh, we need to fight for real, because we ain't going to go back and say we had a hard time with some women. But once they found out they were women, it was over for the Dahomey. All right. And they routed them. And so they had to run back to where they came from. It wasn't like the movies. And in all of these battles that they had, when they fought the French, for every 1,000 that they lost, only 6 French lives were lost. So it was
Wow.
yes. And so when you go back and look at the real history of that, and Queen Nzinga, she poisoned her father and brother, and we know this. Now they're trying to rewrite history, and Google is trying to hide it, and they're trying to hide the videos that's been done about it, like way back when and stuff like that. I keep telling people buy books, old books, is because as soon as these people get their way, right? What's happening is they're wiping them out, bro. Yep. And so what's happening
That
is
that happened in Miami, because I don't know if you remember in the 90s there was a Cuban lady that she became the biggest drug lord in Miami, and man, that's where all of the stuff that was in Scarface, they didn't tell you why those drug wars and everything were going on in Miami. It was a female that was out of control, and they finally got her. Especially like in Hialeah.
And so here's the thing, because it's about
That's messed up, man. They're gonna take it back to the Fat Albert days. Albert Eba Albert barbecue sandwich Albert.
Oh, man.
We just landed on Planet Ebonics up in this mug, man.
Oh,
White
man.
homies whooped the homies. White homies whooped the homies.
Oh, shizzle.
My nizzle for shizzle.
For real.
Yeah, so what they basically done in the law is they made it so dangerous for black men to procreate in the United States. Like, okay, you can procreate, but now we're gonna lock you up for 18 years. So you had a child, and we're gonna raise it, and it ain't gonna be worth nothing.
And the more stuff that they keep putting on TV, it keeps warping these black females' minds to make them more wicked by the day.
Right.
And what's really hurting them about us going over to Thailand or the Philippines is they feel like they're losing control, and because they feel like we belong to them.
exactly, we are their slaves, right? And so basically, what's happening is that in the U.S., the battle is this: that the men say we're going to procreate, we're going to be men, and f you if you don't want to be women, right? And they said, well, we're not going to be women because the laws favor us. So the dude said, oh, you know what? This movement that with Charles Tyler and Brother Nabi was saying back in 2013, 14, and 15, yeah, let's do that. Let's go and explore options. And they said if things were different in other places, that they have respect for good men. All right. Now, in this, and this is what I'm finding out here, is I love this place. It's a nice, tranquil place, right? But I'm just weary about meeting the women here because of what some of the dudes have done to these women here. The mentality that they brought here, the make it rain mentality. And so I'm looking like, well, who's going to be worthy of a good relationship, right? I don't mind sharing my finances with a good woman that's making life easier for me, that's bringing peace and stuff like that. All right. Um, but you got it on all sides. You got people destroying history, right? And I'm starting to figure out why my channel was set shadow banned and stuff. Because remember, I was putting a lot of this. Remember, you asked me, hey, what the history of such and such that you put up and stuff. Do you know the story about that man is kind of hard to find?
I
But you
notice a
know
lot
what
of
you have
stuff.
to do is get hard drives. You have to
Yeah,
get hard drives and store all that information on the hard drive. You know,
it's
external drive.
disappearing. A lot of these
Yeah,
stories, especially exposing a lot of these sellout celebrities and other people, even some of the weirder stuff like the cryptozoology stuff with some of these celebrities not even fully being human. Those stories are being literally washed and erased from Google.
right. And so Google is turning out to be a very, very wicked thing in propaganda media, right? And so one of you brothers was telling me about videos that I had up on
BitChute, that
um,
was me.
okay, and so
I
I
was gonna
went
drop a few links
and so
so the brothers could find them,
um I went and tried to look at some of the
access
videos.
them.
Yeah, and you're right. They corrupted the file, and
I
then
told you.
I looked at the particular videos, and they were of the B Dub doing some heinous thing, and I was like, but they were news articles, and I was like, huh, interesting. Why would they corrupt this file?
Hmm. A lot
I was
of them
like,
Well,
did
that's
play.
why they went from newspapers and books to audibles and all that stuff because you
right.
know they
I
start
told
out
y'all
they'll
that.
release
Yeah, that's I was telling y'all. Go ahead, finish.
yeah, they'll release it like that in the beginning, and then later they'll go back and change a little bit. It's like, for example, when the books when Hebrews to Negroes was out and they were selling it, first thing I did was bought me a hardback cover of the book because they will corrupt the audio file and the video or data files, and they will even edit it, so you won't really know what was really in those books. You know, and that's with every book that has any good information, unless it's a Nazi propaganda book or something.
It's pretty interesting what you finding out about even about World War II, the history of that. And I'm not saying that the Hasidic people, the Ashkenazi Jews, that they didn't have it rough during World War II. Shout out to them. I feel sorry for them, but it was not no damn 6 million people. There was not 6 million of them living in Eastern Europe at that time. That number has been conflated to the umph degree. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there was actually research that said that There was a lot of them, but it wasn't 6 million.
No
Um,
way.
that would be almost the entire population that was but here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing. We've been fed narratives that are false and are taught as real history, right? And then when people come up and teach you the truth, remember, we are in a Caucasian society that don't want us to know what the truth is, right? And if we find the truth, well, what are they? What are the United States right now is having a problem because China is getting leverage everywhere in South America and stuff. And at the end of the day, right? United States don't know what a female is. So no man wants to follow clowns that don't know what a female is.
That's the sickest thing. And you know what? Who right now are those judges, those federal judges who are trying to be confirmed? You know what I'm saying? They keep asking them questions at the Senate subcommittee, the confirmation hearings. Who is it? A bunch of nappy headed, you know what's up there looking
Mhm.
ignorant as hell with names like Jalali Naduki and all them weird names. They all
Uh,
look horrible, and they ignorant as
right,
hell, and they can't answer a simple question.
right, because these are political hacks, and so everybody sees that the country, the United States, is going to hell in a handbasket. A lot of
Yeah.
people see it. Now, hold on. I heard the DR women hate brothers. Now, is this true? You know what? This is, this is, you know what? That's a curious thing. That
Look
is
at
a
how that
curious,
woman tried to use you for your resources and control you.
well,
I mean,
not even much.
it's
Let me put it this way. Um, she I wouldn't say use me for resources. She thought she was the prize, though. She definitely thought she was the prize, and I pretty much kind of like, okay, I'm done with this. All right, and then I tallied up. Um, it was a 25 $30 lesson, but hey, it was a lesson well learned, and she loses. It's because of that 25 $30 it cost me, right? She got none of it. It went to drivers and stuff. But what it taught me is this woman will exploit my resources to do what she feel. And I was like, I don't need that, right? And so when she showed that, all right, she loses. And they don't get that. But then again, to K Dot, what's up, K Dot? To his point, maybe there is something here. Hold on, because a lot of East Coast brothers came here, um, um, bringing such an, and they're doing the same thing. The thing is, this place was not suited for it, and um, it's why a lot of SH is going down in Medellin as well. Right, they did. Even though, but dude, give them hell. These people are really Afro here, and I was like, dang, I see why dudes was coming here like, you can't deny your Afro. Oh, we did, and I was like, no, you really do.
Look at the
Yeah,
baseball players.
yeah,
Talking about,
yeah.
I not black. I not black. I Latin. You Latino, Negro. You darker than all. What you mean you ain't black?
But they're not black though, and I agree with them like that. We should, but they are African.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, but
the skin bleaching
no.
cream is $1 billion industry over there.
Oh, let me say this. Let me say this. But I want us to get away from using the term black. We could say so. You say so-called black, but we need to come up with something other than a color because we literally are not a color. By law, we're not a color. By law, if we choose to keep allowing ourselves to be called a color, we put ourselves under law as not being human,
Well, I mean,
and that's
I guess basically, like,
black
they're
law.
they're melanated people. I'll say that, and they're trying to
Yeah,
act
yeah.
like
Let's
they're
say
not.
that.
You
No,
know what I
let's
mean?
say they're African descent. That's what they trying to get away from. They the same African descent slaves that we are. You got off the boat first, Mo. You
You
got
know,
off the
but
boat first.
there's a lot of new information coming out, and this is from a lot of tribal leaders, Navajos, Cherokees, are admitting that originally those tribes had darker people. If you go back
Yeah,
and talk to one of your grandparents or great grandparents, there's going to be photos, if you're mixed with Native American, of very dark Indians that look like us. Because if you look at like you, Mr. Private Brain, and me, we don't look like Akeem Olajuwon and the rest of them. We don't look like them
but here's the thing. This is what people are missing.
because we were
When I
already here,
say
I believe.
when I say we were already here, we are the Aboriginal. What I
Yeah.
am saying is that we are not the Mongolian red man that they claim came down from the ice bridge. What I am saying is we were here before that. We were who they met when they got here. Now, some of us mixed in, some of us warred and stuff like that. All right. But the fact of the matter remains that we were here tens of thousands of years before anyone. And by we, I mean people of Afro descent. Now, when the Caucasians say, like, well, how did you get here? I know about the Canary Currents. I know about the shipbuilding techniques and stuff like that. And so, and what's happening is you got a lot of dudes that's trying to say, okay, the Africans were here before Columbus. And no, stop being cop outs and tell the truth. All right, people are so afraid of losing some views or being shadow banned that they don't want to tell the truth. All right, I don't mind being shadow banned if the few people that do listen to me are going to get the true history. And the true history, according to archaeology, says that we were here before the Mongolian, that would be the red man. All right. And so, and we mixed in with the Mongolian, and that's how you had all the, hey, what's up, Greg Mahone? Hey, what's up, Antonio? And that's how you had all these things. So when our grandmothers say that we are Indian, they're not saying we're Mongolian. We're saying we're the people that Columbus saw that he mistook from the for the dark people in India, Indian. That's why he said, hey, Indians. He thought he was in India because he saw a bunch of dark black. Before England went and mixed in and lightened them up to what they are now, they were really, really, really dark, my color dark. All right. And if you go to India and look at the Indians in India, they are really, really dark.
Yeah.
You know, the proof that we were here, I believe some archaeologists just discovered a 12,000-year-old bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken and about 10,000-year-old bottle of Old English. So we had to have been here because don't nobody else eat and drink like that.
Uh,
Let me quit.
Lord,
Yeah.
no.
Look, in one of the caves over there in the Grand Canyon, they found a 10,000-year-old bottle of Hennessy.
Oh, Lord. That's probably true.
Was it VS or VSOP?
Remember, Nearest Green created Jack Daniels whiskey. So hey,
Yeah.
Dang.
but but here's the thing.
You frozen?
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. One of the things I was looking, I'm gonna see because I'm curious about this question. I'll probably ask my friend tonight when she comes to work because dude is hooking me up with some other stuff I need to. 1443.
Are you ever going to
So
tell your friend that the other lady just wasn't for you?
I'm not going to mention the other lady. I don't talk about other women when I'm talking to another. You know what I mean? Oh, you
No,
mean
but
the
I'm saying
friend that
suppose
works
she
here?
brings it up.
No, the friend that works here.
Oh, I
No,
thought
she'll
that's.
bring it
Oh,
up.
I thought that was.
No, the one
I
I'm
thought.
meeting today at 3, the one I'm going out with today, um, and we just going to go around town. She's going to show me around. The one, her, um, I want. Um, No, I don't bring other women up in that kind of
Oh,
a.
okay. I was just saying because since she introduced, I, I thought that
No,
was the
you're talking
same
about the
woman.
woman that work. No, no, no. Oh no, this different woman.
Oh, okay.
Different. No, this one, yeah, this was dark sister with an afro. I was like, that's what attracted me to her.
Right.
But we'll see if it's worth, worth the effort, right? And what he said about the uh, it's not a coincidence that the NFL finally, um, right, uh-huh. And so here's the thing. So I want y'all to pay attention to this. As we come more to the truth, you notice that the corporations and stuff start taking the Afro image off of um, all their things like Aunt Jemima and all the rest of this stuff, right? Now, not only did these families stop being paid, but they said they kept all the white
You
images
hear
up.
that noise?
Yeah,
That background noise sounds like R2D2 in the background.
yeah. I don't know what that is. But anyway, so there's a lot of hokey stuff going on. Right.
Yeah, and it's a mighty funny coincidence that after all these years they decided to take the logo, the Redskins logo off. And what about the Chiefs? You know.
Uh, well, the Chiefs don't have a logo.
Oh, so they took that because they had the baseball team had a like a Redskins type logo too.
No, you had the Indians.
The Indians, yeah, the Indians. I'm
In
sorry.
Cleveland. And, the sad thing is they took a poll when the white liberals first started that, because that's who started this crap. White
Uh,
liberals, 90+% of all the tribal people of North America said they like it, they don't want it changed. So you got like Pocahontas in the Senate, whatever, I can't think of her name, the one Trump called Pocahontas with the glasses, got a head like
yeah,
E.T. These
Elizabeth
people,
Warren.
there you go. You got these so called Caucasian people that are liberals, and they just keep on trying to make the English language forbidden. You can't say this, you can't say that, you can't call him a he. I mean, like the Native Americans say, they were proud of the Redskins. They said that showed how fierce they are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these was big dudes that they was interviewing, saying that they liked it. And it's like now you can't say nothing to nobody. Hey, look, I'm glad you brought up about the syrup. I was in the dollar store 2 weeks ago, and I was looking for syrup. I didn't see what's the one I love, Mrs. Buttersworth. What I love, I saw something else which was used to be Aunt Jemima. I looked. I say, what the heck? What is this? Damn, I said, kind of looked like Aunt Jemima. Then I remembered. I say, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm
See,
glad I
I
wasn't
used
looking
to
for some rice.
I used to live in I grew up in the Baltimore DC area, and the Washington Redskins, all their games were sold out for 30 years. You could,
Yeah, man.
unless you knew somebody that had season tickets, you could not get into a Redskins game.
It's so
That's
much
how.
money. Man, it's just so much money up. Think about all the affluent suburbs outside of D.C. You got Potomac, Maryland, Fairfax, Virginia, and Nabi. You know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
wealthy suburbs surrounding D.C.
right.
But
But
that
here's the
that wasn't
thing.
necessarily my point. It was like the logo didn't bother anybody
No,
until this guy,
Uh,
this computer tech guy, bought the Redskins and just ruined them.
all right, but here's
you
the
have
thing. Let me
man,
say
that's
this.
crazy.
Let me say this. Um, uh, they're trying to get rid of Afro images because the first you get rid of the image and evidence of people here. They're taking the page out of the book of Argentina. Argentina almost successfully, totally eliminated um, Afro people from that country. The same way Brazil did. By Brazil paid for Caucasian men, and I here's the problem I have with these people that do this history, especially when females do this history. They say, and Brazil paid for Caucasian people. No, they pay for primarily men to come over here to plant the seed. In that newspaper article, they tell you they only wanted they weren't trying to have the Caucasian woman mixed with the Afro man. They wanted to eliminate the Afro people in perpetuity. So what do? You have the Caucasian men tell the B Dubs, oh, if you want to improve your rate, this is what Brazil did. This was a policy that mothers and I did a couple of videos about this. They said if you want to improve your race, marry a Caucasian man to bleach out to whiten out the skin.
Excuse me, Argentina. I lived there for 7 years, from the 80s to the 90s,
Go ahead, just
and
speak to it.
Argentina was different from Brazil. What they did, and I actually knew the descendant of Juan Manuel Rosas. In fact, he worked in the embassy. We became really good friends. All the black people used to love Juan Manuel Rosas. I mean, he was like, they adored him. But what he did was he took them to war and put all of the black men on the front lines.
On the
they
front
were cannon
line,
fodder.
yep.
So,
Yep.
so after that war was done, there were pretty much no black men, and who was left,
Yeah.
kind of retired to the outlayers, so you didn't see them in Buenos Aires.
Mhm.
And when I
Right.
was there,
And then they also
I felt
tried
like
to
I was
put
the only black man there. Wasn't a lot.
right, and that's the thing. And they used them. They used the black men in the war, and they intentionally and they picked that war. They picked a
Yes,
war.
exactly.
They Argentina picked a war with somebody else so that they could have an excuse to have, and that's murder. I
Well,
don't
they
care
were
what you
actually fighting. They're recently only getting along with Brazil because they were fighting with Brazil for a long time.
uh-huh. And so um and so yeah, and so basically um but in the United States, what's happening is that as brothers are traveling, especially us, right? And when we talk about who we are desired everywhere except by B dubs in the United States. Okay. The good Afro man is desired everywhere. I don't know about the DR either because I see a lot of the United States in here that I don't like when it comes to dating. Um, and I mean from the attitude to everything. And I was like, I was sitting here, I'm like, I'm not going to put up with this. But my friend was here too, you know, trying to hook us up. And I was like, there's nothing for me. So she saw that I was everything that this woman need, but this woman, nobody considered that this woman might not be anything I need. Because it's not
Yeah,
about
the thing about it is these women are so brainwashed they can't even behave for 3 months. They can't hide their true self long enough to get a man.
When I see them, like I go places, I go to the store or wherever, and it really hurts me because I'm used to dating black women 20 years ago. That's what I used to go after. And I see them and they're just so ratchet. They're so ghetto. They're so manly. You can tell the vibe is there that they want me to talk to them, but it's like, I don't want nothing that I have to uppercut after sex. You feel me? I don't want to
right,
have to. I'm not
right.
feeling that. Like I don't, what I'm saying? I don't hit women. And some of them broads, the way they talk and the way they get in your face, it'd be a knee jerk reaction. They'd be missing a few molars and wisdom teeth. So I just stay away from them.
Uh-huh. And so
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the thing is here. The thing is this, that at the end of the day, things are just really, really, really bad. And a lot of the foot shooting is coming from these dudes that are the products of the single mom. Like I said, and it's primarily these dudes from the East Coast. And I've been seeing this myself. And when we talk about somebody effing up the game, right? That's what I'm looking at. And remember, one of the things that I'm good at is looking and seeing what it is. And the reason why they come down here and do it is because things are cheaper than there. But see, if you're from the South, right, you come down here and you see things on par, so you're not going to be throwing money away, except for the people coming out of Georgia, throwing money away, talking about I'm gonna make it rain down there. I'm gonna be there. A lot of dudes came down here to front and messed up the community. All right. And so when I came down here and said, I'm coming down here to do something different to help the community, it was hard for them to believe it because of the people that preceded me. All right. And that was an issue. The people that preceded me were not. And so they have a hard time believing that somebody actually care about them genuinely because of them being Afro, right? And so it's crazy. It is.
Well, the biggest problem with the DR is that it's so close to New York in the sense that you can buy a plane ticket for $200, you know. So a lot of those brothers from up north can afford to go up there and act like they got something when they really don't. They just fronting because they got more than them, and then they pay all that money and leave.
Right. And so the B-Dub said that and I will say this, the many of the dudes in the United States are conquered. If you call a black woman queen, if you say that she is more important than a good man, if you say that she's the prize, then you're conquered. Now, let me say this. The Caucasian men are not the ones that conquered the black man. It's the women. Their mamas did that. Their mamas destroyed them, destroyed their manhood. The B-Dubs did with no Caucasian group of men with no policies could do. The Willie Lynch policy couldn't do it. The Jim Crow, all this stuff, the Afro community and man persevered, all that stuff. We just could not persevere the BW. Let that sink in. The one who's done the most destruction to Afro men, our children, and the community is the ABW. Hands down, bar none. It ain't even close. Caucasian men are sitting back in fear of them also. That's why the Democrats get all kind of position, Supreme Court judge, and don't know what a woman is. All right. And they said, well, if we got them to eliminate so much of their population, let's reward them with this so that they can continue our policies. Because they're like, we're going to hell in a handbasket because we're not having enough children anyway. And that the treachery in abortion that we had planned for the B-Dubs had also been taken hold with the Caucasian women. Plus, we don't have children as ubiquitous as the Afro man. And so let's make sure they're here to run our system until it runs the whole Afro community into the ground. The problem is because we want to get rid of, as they said in the Time Life books, one of the soldiers from the German, the soldier from the German army, a quote from the soldier, the mastermind of during World War II, the German army said that the Afro people are the jewels of the Most High's eyes, and it is a crying shame what the U.S. is doing to them. Right? He said they are the real Hughes. Right? And so, with that said, they thought they would get rid of us by making us stay with a B dub that was destroying us from the inside. And we said, oh, hell no. And so we're jetting. And there's not going to be hope for the current crop of BWs. And so basically, um, what's going to happen is that and so a lot of the traveling, let me say this, Baruch, and see if you agree with this. A lot of the traveling that these brothers are doing is bandwagon traveling. This is what I mean. So you got the brothers that are really trying to do something, really trying to improve the plight of brothers in the world, trying to be a good example, trying to go places and let people see who we really are. And then you got these bandwagon dudes, mainly from New York, right? And all some of these other places, and they're bandwagon dudes. This is what I call the dude that they say got run out of Brazil, but he didn't. But he's a bandwagon dude, and he's a creator. These dudes are hustlers, right? And so they come down, make content, and walk through everywhere. They go through another place and walk through some place. Oh, I'm gangster, check, and this, that, and the other. And that's because they found it's a hustle for them, right? And so they're not passport brothers. They're not brothers even in the sense of the brothers, because they're not going to help you with anything. They don't help do anything beneficial. They in it for themselves, right? And so with that said, it's not everything isn't about tricking. Some of it is about just being seen and saying that you're a part of something, even though you're not. It's like the people running around and say they were in the army, but they weren't. They want the prestige of being in the military from whomever. All right, but they just didn't want to go to basic. They didn't want to go to AIT. They didn't want to spend years in the field. They didn't want to do all that. They just wanted to throw on the uniform. And that's what some of these dudes are. They're traveling, all right, just to say they're passport brothers. And real passport brothers don't care nothing about being passport brothers or nothing. We're leaving to affect change,
Now, B,
right?
I had
And
a, oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's what really got me. I mean, because I mean, we was traveling way before the look.
yeah.
I went to Argentina in 1988. Wasn't a whole lot of black people doing a lot of traveling like that. Maybe to
Mhm.
Jamaica or something like that. But man, when I wanted to go to Argentina, my people was like, "Well, why are you going down there? They racist down there." I'm like, "What? They less racist down there than they are here. You're gonna be living in the jungle, man. Buenos Aires has 15 million people. It's bigger than New York."
Yeah. But the ignorance is so bliss with some of these people, immigrant women. Oh, the immigrant women coming to the United States. Yeah, they're going to have a field day with the brothers, and the brothers going to have a field another with but a dime New York aren't dating broke dudes. Mm. And there's no such thing as a broke dude. All right, women saying that these dudes are broke are broken women that they ain't nothing but 304s for the streets, right? And they just prefer to be run through for free by some dude that she thinks she could get money on from just to ride in his car because it's a Lambo. Ooh, I rode in a Lambo. And then, yeah, I let him hit these skins. Now, the one saving grace they think is if they could get a baby from this dude, they'll have child support for the next 18 years and not have to work. you know, and so that's basically, but it's BS. Okay, so hey, brothers, I gotta cut this off at this point because y'all know I have a hold on. Let's see.
Is Jeffrey down there with the green Cadillac limo for you? Nabi, is your cane and
Look,
your suit ready? You
All right, brother, I'm gonna
hey,
dip out there and good talking to you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one you have.
all right, bad.
peace
All
out,
right,
brother.
take care.
y'all.
Shalom.
All right,
Mhm.
y'all.
What's up,
All
Roger
right,
Spice?
all right, all right. Hey, Roger. I'll holler at y'all. Peace out, everybody. And I'll holler at y'all on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'm gonna ask that question because I'm gonna find out what's the deal with women in Americans. I know Dominicans. Well, I don't really know. I really don't know. But I'm gonna try to find out what's really going on. So that'll be a topic of discussion that I'm gonna ask on my little date.
Is
All
there
right.
any way you can re-upload like the few broken links, the ones on BitChute that's not working? Can you re-upload them, or are they blocking you out of that completely?
Yeah, they blocking it because of the content.
Okay,
I
okay.
know what it is. I looked in it. I downloaded some of it, and I looked at them, and I was like, oh, okay. And so I might put them up on Rumble. I might
Because
see if
some of those were real. They were very informative, and it's weird. I'm telling you, bruh, and I ain't just saying that because you the homie, but they were prophetic 3, 4, 5 years ago, and it's directly dealing with what brothers is dealing with right now in this present time.
except those videos were older. So what happened was those videos that you were seeing, all right, except the ones that have this thing on, those videos were made in 2017.
Yes, I saw 18 to 2020 is the ones I watched.
No.
Even
18 to
before then.
2020. No, those were before then. It's just that
Okay,
that's when I put them up on BitChute.
I got you.
All right, remember they were YouTube videos.
Yeah, you used to have like a bunch of different channels back in the day.
No, I had one. I just had a lot of videos that many people saw.
No, that's right. They kept taking your channel down. You kept having to put another one up.
Right. And so now I have a bunch of them. But I only use two. But
Okay,
yeah, so BitChute, somebody said, hey, put these up on BitChute, man. So I put them up on BitChute. But if you notice, they're YouTube videos. So they were up on YouTube long before they were up on BitChute.
I was looking for
So
yours and David Carroll's old Rabbit Hole Productions, and that's how I stumbled on them last weekend. I opened me up, a couple of bottles and got to sipping and was listening. Like, yeah, man, back when freedom of speech was still a thing in this country.
right. But like I said, they gotta make people dumb. So you have to hide the people that's telling the knowledge. Right. And so um with that said, um I'm about to be out because I need to call it. Well, I just text her. I'll wait for her to reply. All right. And so
So
let's see.
you really like the Willie Dynamite of the DR, right?
Oh no.
Willie.
No.
No, I'm
Now
joking.
this one I met. I hope it turns out to be something, but she's a real Afro, not mixed with her thing, right? And so we'll see, and I'll talk to my friend when she comes to work tonight, and I'm gonna have this discussion, see what's really up here in the DR when it comes to the Afro man and stuff.
Hey, good
So
luck to you on your new love interest, brother.
all right, man. So I'll let y'all. So thank you all for stopping by. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you care to donate to the channel to help out what I do in the communities, My Cash App and PayPal me will be in the description box as well. All right. So with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul.